Good morning, buenos dias, bonsoir. Welcome to Life's Questions and Lessons. I'm your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so excited and grateful that you are here with me today. This podcast is unedited because life is unedited. As always, we'll get started with a question and whatever activity you engage in to explore your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, please feel free to do. So today's first question is, do I need to take myself to court? Do I need to take myself to court? Now, before you start freaking out, like, how did she find out I broke that law that one time? No. This is not literal. This actually came from a derivative of this question came from this program that I was a part of. And it basically broke down how we, almost like how we attack our limiting beliefs. Some people call it imposter syndrome, but it's basically those thoughts that tell us all the things and all the reasons why we can't do something or we're not good enough to do something. So I'm going to get straight into an example so you can actually see what I mean with this. So let's say you are looking for a mentor at any stage. Mentorship is, until we die, honestly. We keep growing, we keep learning. So let's say you're looking for a new mentor and you're reaching out to this person, whether it's, at a meeting, at a workshop, on LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. And immediately before you reach out to them or go up to them or send them that email, you get a thought that's something along the lines of, who do you think you are? Why do you think this person would want to help you? What do you have to offer a mentor? Something similar to that. Let's say you are trying to put yourself out there for the first time, to share your story, to let people know who you are. And maybe it's a speaking engagement, maybe it's a new group that you found online, something along those lines. But you are ready to share your story, and you know that your story matters and somebody really needs to hear it. And right around the time that you're getting ready to share, there's a little voice that comes into your mind and it says something like, nobody cares about that. Your story isn't special. Why would you share that? You haven't actually been through anything traumatic enough for anybody to resonate with. So we all have these thoughts. And if you have had anything even close to these thoughts, if you're human and you're breathing, you have, that's what I'm talking about. So there's this process of taking yourself to court. Now, I'm pretty silly, so I've used this process in a silly way. But the way that it works is when that thought comes up. So whatever the situation is, it doesn't really matter what the situation is, but whenever that thought comes up, it's a thought that will not propel you forward, right? It's a limiting belief. It's something negative. It's something telling you, who you aren't, or in anything like that makes you kind of rethink who you are and rethink your decision. The first thing to do as soon as that thought comes up is to say, I object, just like a courtroom. So literally say, I object, and treat it like you're in a courtroom with a lawyer. So let's say you are putting yourself out there for the first time. Let's just use that example. You're getting ready to share your story, and that thought comes up of, you haven't even been through anything important. You haven't been through anything traumatic. Why do you think people are going to listen to you? I object. I have been through something important. And here's what it was. I might not have been through a certain traumatic experience, but my story matters, and here's why. So you're basically taking yourself to court, and your mind, right? One side of your mind is going to be really trying to protect you, right? We know that there's that ego and that part of our minds that's really trying to protect us. But there's that other side that strong lawyer side, that we want to come out and really have that other side of the argument. So you can also think about this in terms of if you are looking to make a decision, right? And you think about all the things that can go wrong. You can also take yourself to court on this one. Well, what if I start this new activity and I fail? I object. What if I don't fail? What if I succeed? What if I learn? What if it's awesome? So really take your time with this one. Have some fun. Again, I'm pretty silly, so I definitely have a very vivid imagination, and I like to picture myself in an actual courtroom when I'm doing this and have like me as the lawyer, the prosecutor, like both sides and the whole deal, and the judge and like all of those things. I visualize that as I'm doing this activity, but really take some time to play with this and to kind of experiment with whatever works best for you. We have so many things that we would like to do and change, and behaviors that we might want to, kind of reform, and, decisions we want to make. And there's always going to be those voices, and that particular voice, maybe it's just one voice for you, but it's always going to be something in you that's telling you what you can't do and why you can't do something. So instead of trying to do what some other, resources and things have said to try to quiet that voice, listen to it and come back with an objection, like a good one. Because the truth of the matter is you can do it, right? Let's be honest. You might not be 100% prepared for, like, let's say the whole mentorship. Let's go back to that example. You might not be prepared in that moment to offer something to that particular mentor, but you definitely could. You definitely could figure that out. You've been in situations before where you had to figure something out. So it's really kind of getting into that mode of thought and understanding, wait a minute, I've done this before. Maybe not this exact thing, maybe not this exact decision, but I've been here before and I've overcome a challenge very similar to this. So I can definitely do that again. So those are the questions I had on my heart. I would love to hear how this exercise goes for you. This has been a one that I have implemented throughout the day, honestly, depending on what I'm working on. There's a whole lot of, I object. There's a whole lot of taking myself to court. So thank you as always for listening. If this was helpful for you, please share this episode. Wherever you are listening to my words, please rate and review. And until next time, take care.